There's a Paper Moon Motel off Highway 19. Neon flickers in the rain where the paint's worn thin. I signed my name in tired ink, room number 22. And every hallway in that place still sounded just like you. The coffee tasted burnt and old, the radio played low. A stranger asked me where I'm from. I said, somewhere I used to know. Funny how a passing town can pull the years apart. One cracked motel window and I'm back inside your heart. At the Paper Moon Motel, where the lonely learn to stay, I still hear your laughter drifting down the hallway. Some loves don't leave with morning, they settle in your soul. And every road I wander leads back to what I know, back to the Paper Moon Motel. The woman at the front desk smiled, said, you're passing through tonight. I almost told her everything, but simply said, that's right. I watched the headlights come and go, like wishes no one keeps, and folded all our yesterdays into the bed that wouldn't sleep. Time can change the color of every memory we hold, but not the quiet tenderness that never really grows old. At the Paper Moon Motel, where the lonely learn to stay, I still hear your laughter drifting down the hallway. Some loves don't leave with morning, they settle in your soul. And every road I wander leads back to what I know, back to the Paper Moon Motel. I stopped chasing ghosts years ago, or at least that's what I say. But certain songs and certain nights still carry me away. If heaven keeps old jukebox tunes and mercy wears your smile, save me one slow dance, my love. I'll be there in a little while. At the Paper Moon Motel, under neon's fading glow, you taught me love can leave us and still refuse to go. The silence, I don't curse what's gone, 'cause every mile behind me soft guitar answering the vocal. Paper moon above the highway. One more cup of coffee, one more night of grace. The sound of a city finally breathing again. The storm rolled out around sunrise, leaving silver on the street. You pushed open that little cafe door, with raindrops dancing at your feet. You wore no grand apology, no perfect words to say, just tired eyes and shaking hands, and the courage to stay. I stirred sugar through my coffee. You watched the steam drift by. Two strangers wearing old heartaches, pretending not to recognize. Sometimes healing doesn't happen with fireworks above your head. Sometimes it's found in quiet moments, in simple things we never said, like coffee after rain, warm against the cold. A little bit of comfort for hearts growing old. No promises forever, no castles in the sky, just your hand beside my cup, and peace I can't deny. Maybe love ain't thunder, maybe love remains in small and sacred moments, like coffee after rain. You laughed about the years gone by, the roads that led nowhere, how life can steal your favorite songs, then leave their echoes in the air. I told you I've been lonely, though I wore it like a coat. You said most of us are trying, just learning how to float. Outside the clouds were breaking, the city washed and new. Something in that morning light made me believe in truth. Not every wound needs answers, not every scar must fade. Some become reminders of the strength that sorrow made. Like coffee after rain, warm against the cold. A little bit of mercy for hearts growing old. No promises forever, no stars we have to chase, just your smile across the table, and time slow in its pace. Maybe love ain't thunder, maybe love remains in small and sacred moments, like coffee after rain. If tomorrow changes everything, if this is all we share, I still remember how the sunlight found your silver hair. How two imperfect people stopped running from the pain and chose to sit together after all the rain. Like coffee after rain, sweet against the bitter years, a little bit of healing for all these hidden tears. No need for grand conclusions, no need to explain. Some of life's best miracles arrive without a name. Maybe love grows softer, maybe hearts can change, and maybe hope is waiting in coffee after rain. One more cup, one more sunrise, one more reason to stay.
Found an old shoebox in the hallway closet, beneath winter coats and forgotten things. Inside were ticket stubs and birthday cards, and photographs with folded wings. There you were in California sunlight, laughing with your hair untied. A younger man stood beside you, certain love would never die. The colors have all faded now, edges worn and torn apart, but somehow that little picture still remembers my heart. Funny how the years keep moving while certain moments stay frozen in a paper frame, refusing to drift away. You're a faded photograph, but the feeling never fades. Time can steal the colors, not the promises we made. I can't hear your voice the way I used to, can't recall each little phrase, but love leaves fingerprints behind, even after all these days. You're a fading photograph, still hanging in my soul. I traced your smile with careful fingers, like touching sacred glass, trying to hold the pieces of a life that moved too fast. We thought we'd have forever, a porch swinging, growing old, but life rewrites its stories in ways we can't control. Outside the rain our yesterdays, watching dust dance in the light. I used to fear forgetting, thought memory was all I had. Now I know love changes shape, but it never leaves completely. You're a faded photograph, but the feeling never fades. Time may blur the details, not the kindness that you gave. I forget the little arguments, the reasons tears were cried, but I remember how you held my hand when my father died. You're a fading photograph, still teaching me to love. If heaven keeps old albums on shelves beneath the stars, I hope you're turning pages, smiling at who we were, not mourning what we lost, not counting all the pain, just grateful that two souls once met and danced beneath the rain. You're a fading photograph, soft around the seams, living in the quiet corners of my oldest dreams. No, I don't need perfection for every answer why. Some people leave this world behind, but never truly say goodbye. You're a fading photograph, a light that still survives, proof that love can outlast memory and keep a heart alive. I put the picture back inside the box, but I carried you with me, still do.
The single notebook on my piano, pages stained with coffee rings, filled with unfinished melodies, and all the words I couldn't sing. Some begin with your laughter, some begin with your name, some stop in the middle like they forgot why they came. I still hear your footsteps crossing this wooden floor. Sometimes I turn around believing you'll walk through that door. Funny how inspiration leaves quietly without a grand farewell. One day the room is full of music, the next silence settles in. Now every melody feels like half a song, missing the harmony you used to bring. I know the chords, I know the rhythm, but not the reason I should sing. Half a prayer, half a dream, half the man I used to be. Since you left, everything beautiful sounds unfinished to me. Half a song. I still play the old guitar you bought me years ago. The wood has grown much older, but somehow it still knows. It remembers midnight riding, cheap red wine and tired eyes. You say, don't overthink it, Benny, just tell the truth this time. Outside, the city keeps breathing, cars pass beneath neon light, while I sit here chasing echoes long after midnight. Maybe grief isn't forgetting, maybe it's learning how to play a different version of the same old tune. Every melody feels like half a song, missing the harmony you used to bring. I know the words, I know the ending, but not the way to make them sing. Half the laughter, half the stars, inside the night. Since you left, everything beautiful echoes through empty rooms. Half a song. If heaven has a piano bar, I hope you're making requests, smiling at old musicians who still think one more chorus might fix everything. And if you hear me from wherever you are, know this: I never stopped writing, even when it hurt, even when no one listened, because loving you taught me that songs aren't measured by how long they last, but by how honestly they're lived. Now every melody feels like half a song, but maybe that's alright. Maybe broken notes still matter, maybe unfinished things still shine. Half the fear, twice the grace, 1,000 memories remain. And every time I take this stage, I hear you whisper, sing it anyway. Half a song, still worth singing. Half a song, still full of love. I close the notebook, turn off the lights, then reach for my guitar again, because tomorrow maybe I'll finish it. pressure swaying like tires on asphalt. The low hum of a bass rolling through midnight. 2 a.m. outside Oklahoma, the highway stretching black and wide, coffee cooling in the cup holder, moonlight riding shotgun by my side. The radio played old soul records, songs I thought I'd left behind. Funny how certain melodies know exactly where to find you. I passed another truck stop, another neon vacancy sign, another pair of taillights disappearing like old friends running out of time. You spend enough years chasing answers, you learn not all of them arrive. Sometimes peace is simply moving, keeping your hands steady on the wheel. Those lonesome taillights burning red against the night remind me everything keeps going, even after goodbye. People come, people leave, like headlights crossing through. But every road I've ever taken still carries pieces of you. Lonesome taillights leading me home. I used to think I'd missed my chances, that youth had taken all its gold. But age teaches different lessons about what matters when the nights grow cold. A gas station kid said, "Where you headed, old man?" I smiled and said, "Still trying to figure that out." He laughed like I was joking, but maybe I finally knew some journeys aren't destinations, they're the people who shape you. The miles don't heal everything, but they soften sharp edges. They teach the heart how to carry what remains. Those lonesome taillights fading into midnight blue tell me not to fear the distance or the change in view. Love arrives, love departs, like seasons passing through. But every road I've ever traveled still carries pieces of you. Lonesome taillights keeping me true. If I had one more hour with everyone I've lost, I'd skip the explanations, forget who paid the cost. I'd ask about their children, tell them what they've missed, then hold them one last moment before releasing my grip. Because life isn't measured by what stays forever, it's measured by what teaches us to love. Those lonesome taillights shining softer now, no longer symbols of abandonment, but proof somehow that we've all been travelers, doing the best
dashboard clock reads 2:43. A tired man keeps driving, not because he's lost, but because he's finally learned that home isn't always a place. Sometimes it's the peace you make with your own heart.
Alone glowing beneath it, the sound of chairs being stacked in an empty bar. One last song before closing time. When the lights go soft and the crowd heads home, when the laughter fades and I'm left alone, I'll sit a little longer with this old guitar in hand, thanking every broken road that helped me understand. I used to fear the silence, thought it meant the end. Now I hear old melodies calling me again. Funny how growing older doesn't shrink your heart. It only teaches you which pieces matter most. When the lights go soft, don't cry for me. With joy, I've tasted grief. I've loved imperfect people and been loved the same way too. If this is all we ever get, what a beautiful view. When the lights go soft, let the music play. I wouldn't trade these scars for yesterday. I've watched summer turn to winter, held newborn babies in my arms, stood beneath hospital hallways, praying through alarms. I've buried dreams and old friends, said goodbyes I couldn't bear, but somehow life kept showing up in ordinary places, in coffee shared at sunrise, in strangers being kind, in hearing my mother's laughter echo through my mind. No, heaven wasn't hidden in grand and distant things. It lived inside the moments I almost failed to see. Go soft, don't mourn what's gone. Every chapter had its reason, every night it's dawn. I've kissed beneath neon windows, cried where nobody knew, and if I had to live it twice, I'd still choose you. When the lights go soft, let the record spin. I was never perfect, but I let love in. So if you're listening someday, wondering if you've done enough, listen closely. Did you tell someone you love them? Did you offer grace when anger would have been easier? Did you laugh until your ribs hurt? Did you stand back up after life knocked you down? Did you keep going? Then, my friend, you lived. You really lived. When the lights go soft and my song is through, don't remember only sorrow. Remember the truth, that life was never measured by wealth or grand acclaim, but by the hearts we touched and the people who spoke our name. When the lights go soft, I won't be afraid, because every note I carried was worth the price I paid. When the lights go soft, I'll smile at the dark, for love taught this soul how to leave a little light behind. The saxophone rises one final time. The bartender turns the sign to close. An old man places a few bills on the counter, picks up his coat, takes one last look around, then steps outside into the cool midnight air. The city is quiet, stars are waiting, and somewhere in the distance another song begins.
You all white on Sunday mornings, smile like grace could never fade. But I saw tears behind your silence and all the bargains that you made. We were saints in other people's stories, sinners in the dead of night, trying to hold a fragile heaven with tied hands and borrowed light. The older I get, the more I know nobody walks this road untouched. Love isn't made of perfect people, just hearts that try their best enough. These are my broken halo blues for the angels who fell too soon, for every promise left unfinished, for every shadow in the room. I don't blame you for your weakness, I don't curse the things we lose. I raise my glass to mercy tonight and sing these broken halo blues. You said don't put me on a pedestal, I was never built that high. But love can paint its own illusions until the colors learn to die. I remember all your laughter, how it danced
Even storms can leave behind them fields that welcome spring again. Maybe forgiveness isn't forgetting. Maybe it's finally letting go, choosing tenderness over bitterness, even when your heart says no. These are my broken halo blues, for the angels who fell too soon, for every promise left unfinished, for every shadow in the room. I don't blame you for your weakness. I don't curse the things we lose. I raise my glass to mercy tonight and sing these broken halo blues. If I ever see you somewhere beyond these city lights, I won't ask where you went wrong or who was wrong or right. I'll just sit beside you quietly, like old friends sometimes do, and thank you for the love we had before the world broke through. Oh, these are my broken halo blues, for the dreamers bruised by truth, for every soul still searching for the innocence of youth. I forgive the human pieces, the cracks we couldn't choose, and hold them close like sacred scars inside these broken halo blues. Soft, soft, soft saxophone answers the final line. The broken halos still shine a little too. You wore white on Sunday mornings, smile like grace could never fade, but I saw tears behind your silence and all the bargains that you made. We were saints in other people's stories, sinners in the dead of night, trying to hold a fragile heaven with tired hands and borrowed light. The older I get, the more I know nobody walks this road untouched. Love isn't made of perfect people, just hearts that tried their best enough. These are my broken halo blues, for the angels who fell too soon, for every promise left unfinished, for every shadow in the room. I don't blame you for your weakness. I don't curse the things we lose. I raise my glass to mercy tonight and sing these broken halo blues.
You said don't put me on a pedestal. I was never built that high, but love can paint its own illusions until the colors learn to die. I remember all your laughter,
sloped in wearing midnight, velvet wrapped around a flame. The whole room lost its rhythm the second someone said her name. Red lipstick on a whiskey glass, silver rings upon her hand. She smiled like she knew every weakness in every broken man. I should have turned and left right then, paid my tab and closed that door. But lonely hearts ain't famous for knowing what they're fighting for. Some women bring salvation, some teach you how to bleed, and some arrive like storms at sea, giving you exactly what you need. She was a devil in velvet, soft as a Sunday prayer, a kiss wrapped up in danger, with heaven in her stare. I knew I'd never keep her, still I let my defenses fall. Some loves ain't built to last forever, but they're worth remembering after all. Devil in velvet, dancing through my soul. She never promised forever, never lied about the game, said, darling, broken people don't always carry blame. We dance beneath neon shadows, old blues spinning slow. She moved like smoke through my fingers, teaching me to let go. Outside, the city kept breathing. Inside, time stood still. And for a few sweet hours, the world bent to her will. Ain't it strange how strangers can know exactly where you ache, touch the places you've been hiding, then leave before you wake. She was a devil in velvet, soft as a Sunday prayer, a sinner dressed like mercy, with moonlight in her hair. I knew I'd never hold her, still I answered every call. Some loves don't ask for promises, they're just beautiful and small. Devil in velvet still echoes through these walls. Fire or the scars beneath my skin. Some people
change your story without ever settling in. If I see her in another life, across some crowded room, I'll buy her one more whiskey and thank her for the truth. She was a devil in velvet, danger wrapped in grace, a temporary miracle I still can't quite replace. No, she never really loved me the way old dreamers hope, but she taught this tired heart how to loosen his grip on rope. Devil in velvet, you came, disappeared, but some ghosts wear perfume for years and years and years. One last glance, one last slow dance. Devil in velvet. Walked in wearing midnight, velvet wrapped around a flame. The whole room lost its rhythm the second someone said her name. Red lipstick on a whiskey glass, silver rings upon her head. Smiled like she knew every weakness and every broken man. I should have turned and left right then, paid my tab and closed that door. But lonely hearts ain't famous for knowing what they're fighting for. Some women bring salvation, some teach you how to bleed.
Train whistle in the distance, a bright guitar phrase answers the rose. The night slowly gives way to dawn. Pack my old suitcase by the front door, dust on the photographs I left behind. Ain't no use counting no mistakes now, they've had enough of my time. I folded up the letters I kept hidden, tucked them deep beneath my clothes. Some memories ride beside you, no matter where the highway goes. I checked the mirror one last time, saw silver in my hair, and for the first time in a long while, I didn't really care. The sun keeps rising over broken places. Morning doesn't ask what you've been through. Every mile can be a second chance if you're brave enough to move. I've got an eastbound heart rolling toward the light, leaving all those sleepless shadows somewhere in the night. No, I ain't chasing glory, no dreams of being young, just trying to find the man I was before the damage was done. With an eastbound heart still beating strong, after all these years I finally learned to carry on. Stopped at a roadside diner outside Memphis, coffee black and eggs over easy. A waitress said, "You look like a musician." I laughed and said, "Used to be." She smiled and filled my cup again, said, "Honey, don't you quit. Some people spend their whole lives waiting. You still got fire left in it." Outside, a little boy was dancing to a song from an old jukebox. Made me think maybe joy ain't something that age can ever stop. Ain't it funny how hope returns, quiet as a morning breeze, not with thunder or grand applause, just enough to make you believe. I've got an eastbound heart rolling toward the light, leaving all those worn out sorrows fading in the night. No, I ain't chasing glory, no kingdoms left to claim. I'm just learning how to love this life without needing it to change. With an eastbound heart still beating strong, after all these years I finally learned to carry on. If I meet the younger version of myself somewhere down this road, I tell him not to fear the heartbreak. It'll teach you what matters most. You lose some people you can't replace. You'll cry more than you planned, but you'll find strength in unexpected places, and grace in ordinary hands. I've got an eastbound heart open to the sky, thankful for the tears I've cried, thankful I'm still alive. No, life never turned out the way I thought it would, but there's beauty in the detours and mercy in the misunderstood. With an eastbound heart still beating free, I spent years trying to outrun myself. Now I'm finally me, eastbound heart, rolling on. Rolling on.
The night slowly gives way to dawn. I packed my old suitcase by the front door. Dust on the photographs I left behind. Ain't no use counting old mistakes now. They've had enough of my time. I folded up the letters I kept hidden, tucked them deep beneath my clothes. Some memories ride beside you, no matter where the highway goes. I checked the mirror one last time, saw silver in my hair, and for the first time in a long while, I didn't really care. The sun keeps rising over broken places.
Brushes whisper against the snare, a long exhale before letting go. We met beneath September sunlight, outside that little corner store. You wore the same blue sweater I hadn't seen in years before. You smiled the way old lovers do, careful not to look too long, like both of us remembered exactly where we'd gone wrong. The trees were turning amber, children laughed across the street, and life kept moving forward while time stood at our feet. Funny how forever changes without asking if you're ready. Sometimes love remains even when two hands don't fit together. This is our golden hour goodbye. No anger left to hide, no doors to slam behind us, no need to choose a side. I love you with my whole heart. You loved me the best you knew. Sometimes that's the tragedy. Love just isn't enough to hold on to. Golden hour goodbye beneath a painted sky. You asked if I was happy now. I told you most days I am. You laughed and said, that's probably the most honest answer. I wanted to ask 1,000 questions. Who holds your hand at night? Do you still hum while washing dishes? Do you still leave the hallway light? But wisdom comes with silver hair, and silence has its grace. Not every curiosity needs to be chased. There are conversations
conversations the heart keeps to itself, not out of fear, but out of love. This is our golden hour goodbye, soft as evening rain, no blame hanging between us, no tallying the pain. You gave me years worth keeping, I hope I gave some too. And maybe that's enough for us, maybe that's the truth. Golden hour goodbye, as daylight fades from view. If I could speak to younger us, I'd tell those reckless kids, you won't get everything you dreamed of, but you'll survive what you don't. You'll learn that endings don't erase beginnings. You'll discover gratitude can sit beside grief. And one day you'll look into each other's eyes without bitterness. This is our golden hour goodbye, with mercy in the breeze. No need to rewrite history, no desperate final pleas. I will always thank the heavens for the road that led to you, for every dance, every tear, every ordinary afternoon. And when they ask about first loves, long after we are gone, I'll smile and say, she taught me how to open my heart and how to carry on. Golden hour goodbye, golden hour goodbye. Oh, golden hour goodbye, golden hour goodbye. The sun disappears behind the trees. Two old souls walk away in different directions, neither one looking back, because love was real. And sometimes that has to be enough.
Sound of distant water, brushes moving like soft waves against the shore. I sat beside the Mississippi with my shoes kicked off in the sand, watching driftwood float downstream like old versions of the man I am. I thought about the words I shouldn't have spoken, the hearts I couldn't save, the dreams I buried with good intentions, the chances I gave away. Lord knows I've been selfish, Lord knows I've been afraid, I've worn pride like armor and hid behind mistakes, but the river kept on moving, never asking where I'd been, never counting all my failures or the places I'd given in. 'Cause the river don't judge, it just carries what it can. The sinner and the saint alike are held within its hands. It don't ask for explanations, don't demand you understand. It simply whispers, keep on going, you're only human. River don't judge. I remembered my father's temper, the tenderness he rarely showed, how he tried to build a better life with burdens no one knows. I remember lovers leaving, friends I couldn't hold on to, and how every broken ending taught me something true. Maybe grace looks ordinary, maybe mercy wears blue jeans, maybe heaven starts right here in learning to forgive ourselves. The older that I get, the less certain I become. But one thing feels like truth: compassion changes everything. 'Cause the river don't judge, it just flows beneath the sky, holding tears and hallelujahs as they pass it by. It don't separate the worthy from the ones still learning how. It simply says, you're still breathing, start from now. River don't judge. If I could gather every version of myself, the reckless boy, the frightened man, the tired soul standing here tonight, I'd pull them close, I wouldn't shame them, I wouldn't ask why they weren't stronger. I'd simply say, you survived, you love the best you know how, and tomorrow you get another chance. 'Cause the river don't judge, it just keeps rolling on, through every shattered promise, through every setting sun. It don't ask if you deserve it, or if you've earned peace somehow. It simply offers water, the thirsty heart. The river don't judge, and maybe neither should we. So lay your burdens down, let the current hold them a while. You've carried them long enough. River don't judge, river don't judge.
distant water, brushes moving like soft waves against the shore. I sat beside the Mississippi with my shoes kicked off in the sand, watching driftwood float downstream like old versions of the man I am. I thought about the words I shouldn't have spoken, the hearts I couldn't save, the dreams I buried with good intentions, the chances I gave away. Lord knows I've been selfish, Lord knows I've been afraid. I've worn pride like armor and hid behind mistakes. But the river kept on moving, never asking where I'd been, never counting all my failures, and hid behind mistakes.
Pulled my Sunday suit from the closet, still hanging where it's always been, a little tighter through the shoulders, a little worn around the seams. Brushed the dust off my old black shoes, straightened out my father's tie. Saw 100 different versions of myself, looking back through older eyes. Funny how the years keep teaching what youth could never understand. You don't become who you are alone. You borrow pieces from loving hands, from teachers and neighbors, old friends and strangers, people who stayed, people who couldn't. Every soul left something behind. So here's to the hearts that carried me through, the ones who believed before I ever knew. To every kind word, every second chance, every quiet prayer spoken when I couldn't stand. I'm wearing this Sunday suit for more than just myself. I'm stitched together by the grace of somebody else. Sunday suit. Miss Evelyn from down the street used to bring my mama pie. Said, boy, hold doors for people, you'll never regret being kind. Mr. Jackson taught me guitar behind the barber shop after school. He'd laugh and say the blues ain't sadness, son, it's surviving with style. I think about the woman I loved, the ones who let me go. Every goodbye taught compassion in ways they never know. Some names are written in stone, some fade with time, but gratitude remembers what memory leaves behind. So here's to the hearts,
Here's to the hearts
that carried me through,
that carried me through.
the ones who forgave when I didn't deserve to. To every embrace,
Every embrace,
every guiding hand,
guiding hand,
every little mercy that helped me become this man. I'm wearing this Sunday suit with tears behind my smile, because none of us ever make it by ourselves. Sunday suit. One day, someone might tell stories about me. Maybe they'll remember the songs, maybe they'll remember the mistakes, but I hope they remember this. I tried to love honestly. I tried to leave people lighter than I found them. And when I failed, I tried again. So here's to the hearts,
so here's to the hearts,
still beating in mine,
beating in mine.
the ones now in heaven,
The ones now in heaven,
the ones still nearby. To every sunrise,
every sunrise,
every ordinary day, every soul that helped me find my way. I'm wearing this Sunday suit not to impress the crowd, but as a thank you note I never said out loud. Sunday suit, Sunday suit.
Sunday suit.
And if grace has a dress code, I think it looks a little like love. The saxophone rises gently. Hammond holds one final chord. Brushes fade like footsteps leaving church. Pulled my Sunday suit from the closet, still hanging where it's always been. A little tighter through the shoulders, a little worn around the seams. Pulled my Sunday suit from the closet, still hanging where it's always been. A little tighter through the shoulders, a little worn around the seams. Brushed the dust off my old black shoes, straightened out my father's tie. Saw 100 different versions of myself, looking back through older eyes. Funny how the years keep teaching